On the face of it, Criminal Complaint 1:09-CR00466 BMC is a straightforward drug conspiracy case based on 300,000 pages of seized documents, including drug ledgers and shipping manifests, wiretap recordings and potentially dozens of cooperating witnesses. But the sheer abundance of discovery material alone is an indication that little about United States v. Joaquin Guzman. Low era will be straightforward when jury selection begins in Brooklyn Federal Judge Brian Pogan's courtroom on 5 November. El Chapo trial, Brooklyn judge rules jurors' names will be kept secret. Read more for the government. It's a banner prosecution, a rare opportunity to serve justice on a notorious trafficking kingpin known variously as El Shorty, for his diminutive stature, El Rapido, for the efficiency of his trafficking operation, or El Chapo to followers of narco folklore everywhere. But the passage from extradition on Barack Obama's final night in office in 2017 to trial in Brooklyn has been fraught with delays caused by defense complaints that Guzman, for 2 decades the head of Mexico's dominant Sinaloa crime cartel, is being systematically denied due process. I've defended some difficult cases and some notorious clients, but I've never had both arms tied behind my back like this, says Jeffrey Lichtman, a heavy-hitting New York criminal defense lawyer who formally joined Guzman's defense team last month. This is literally an inquisition. Constitutional fairness has gone out of the window because the government wants a show trial with a quickie conviction. The addition of Lichtman, who is best known for winning an acquittal for John Gotti Jr. on mob-related racketeering charges, has amplified a sense of anticipation before the trial. Guzman's wife, the former beauty queen Emma Coronel Ashporo, now attends pre-trial hearings with the couple's 2 young daughters, who wave and coo excitedly to their father from the gallery. That space is now crammed with increasing numbers of media from Mexico and Central America, where Guzman remains both reviled and revered. The vast amount of evidence prosecutors have assembled to back up their story of Guzman's 2 decades at the top has now ended with the defense, a dump in their opinion, and assembled with no rhyme or reason. If the government's evidence against Guzman is as good as it claims it is, Lichtman argued, why are they treating El Chapo in this fashion? It's making me think that maybe the evidence is not so good and they're going to rely on the evidence of people who've spent their entire lives selling drugs and lying, he said. Exacerbating the problem of sifting through that material, the defense claims, is being denied sufficient access to a client who does not speak English and whose ability to participate in his defense is hampered by the harsh conditions of his 17-month confinement at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan. El Chapo's lawyers say drug kingpin is subjected to overly strict jail conditions. Read more. He's in isolation 24 hours a day and his condition is deteriorating, said Lichtman. He has no contact with other prisoners and very little contact with jailers, who don't speak Spanish. He has no ability to speak to his family and gets 2 calls from his sister totaling half an hour a month. Though the judge, Kogan, has indicated he's not inclined to allow testimony about dozens of assassinations Guzman allegedly ordered between 1989 and 2014. Jurors will likely hear the story of a lowly marijuana farmer who rose to create a smuggling empire with annual revenues of $3 billion and which, at its peak, was responsible for 25% of all illegal drugs entering the U.S. from Mexico. Guzman's own fortune, prosecutors estimate, is in excess of $1 billion. After he was hauled from a drainage ditch in the coastal city of Mochis by Mexican federal authorities in January 2016, Guzman told Mexican prosecutors that he was just a farmer who earns 20,000 pesos a year, $1,500, growing corn, sorghum and safflower. He did not, he claimed, belong to any cartel or have any cartel. Part of the government's rationale for keeping Guzman under conditions of maximum detention, his legal team concedes, may be rooted in Guzman's proven ability to escape from maximum security prisons in Mexico, once, according to his lore, secreted in a laundry cart and, in a second successful bid for freedom, via a mile-long tunnel that connected to the shower of his cell. We have to be realistic, Eduardo Balareso argued. We're in a secure facility in downtown Manhattan. Does the government have so little faith in its own security that they think something like that could happen again? As the government lays out Guzman's rise and fall at trial, much of the evidence will come in direct testimony from as many as 40 witnesses, among them Colombian drug lords, couriers, enforcers and accountants, some of whom may be allowed to testify under aliases. One likely prosecution witness is Damaso Lopez, Guzman's former right-hand man who was extradited to the U.S. in July. One figure who might be called by the defense is actor Sean Penn. Months ago, prosecutors petitioned the judge to exclude any mention of Guzman's sit-down interview with Penn for Rolling Stone magazine in 2015, which came shortly before the arrest that led to Guzman's extradition. Penn has denied his contact with Guzman could have tipped off U.S. or Mexican authorities to his whereabouts. Asked if he believed Penn's involvement led to his client's arrest, Bellariso said simply, "I have no doubts about that.